Mary. So the fences already in place at the San Diego border could be the blueprint for the president's wall. They have been a work in progress for decades. Reporter Jared Aarons is in our 10 News Live Center with a look at the history of the wall here in San Diego. Jared?
Yeah, thank you, Virginia. Let me show you what's already in place right now. You've seen pictures of all of this before, but there are 12 miles of this double fencing here in San Diego that stretches from the coast actually all the way over to the Otay Mesa port of entry. And beyond that, there's another 43 miles of what's called primary fencing that stretches all the way out into the mountains. If you look back now over the past 25 years, CBP and DHS have actually done a lot to shore up the San Diego section.
But now, because of all this infrastructure.
In a June tour of the border with 10 News anchor Steve Atkinson, Customs and Border Protection Chief Rodney Scott talked about the difficulties of being an agent in the area before the fence.
I would argue during the 90s, early 90s, the extreme was total lawlessness. The fence behind me was chain link. It was riddled with holes.
That started to change in 1993 when President Clinton launched Operation Gatekeeper, a mix of infrastructure and new enforcement strategies. It included the start of the fence that's in place today. CBP says Gatekeeper reduced illegal crossings in San Diego by 75%.
I think it was meant to be imposing, you know? It wasn't meant to be nice.
Border researcher Dr. Alejandra Castañeda says that was the start of a new era, which continued in 2006 with President George W. Bush's Secure Fences Act.
Clinton started at the end, but it was really the Bush administration, especially after 9/11, no? And then the Obama administration just simply continued that project and finished it.
Secure Fences led to 653 miles of fencing along the U.S.-Mexico border. Illegal immigration dropped from more than 1 million arrests in 2006 to around 400,000 last year. Scott says San Diego's fences have become the blueprint for other urban border areas to copy.
I call this our proof of concept. We proved that border security works, and it is by far probably the most secure part of the United States border anywhere in the country.
In just the last few months, we've seen down here that CBP and DHS has done some work to even reinforce the fences along the border. They've added some concertina wire to some areas and even moved some concrete barriers in place. In the Live Center, Jared Aarons, 10 News.
We are certainly right in the center of this debate. Thank you, Jared. New from overnight, 2 pickup trucks.